What's up, guys? It's the Donnie Trump here, coming back at you with another video. And I hate doing these cheesy intros, but hey, that's fucking show business, so yeah, enjoy it. Anyway, today we're going to be talking about The Division. They're coming out with a second game very soon, and I saw a little bit of hype. Saw a video from the Ubisoft legend Russian Badger. So I saw some of the gameplay, and I was thinking about getting it. So I figured I would take a look back at the first Division. Just give you guys a couple of things I liked about it, a couple of things that were kind of shitty about it, and just get hyped up for the new game because it looks pretty good, and I think I'm gonna be getting it. But unless I find out that I hate The Division. So I'm gonna start off with a couple of my gripes here, and then we'll get through the shit I liked about the game. In hopes that by the end of the video I'll be like, oh yeah, I really want to get that Division 2 game, because I was talking about it with a buddy of mine, where like, yeah, we should probably play that, stream it. So I'm not trying to fuck myself up here, But so like my main complaint about this game is that it's just so redundant. Like it's just, there's so many boring sections of the game where you're just like either running to the new objective or you just grinding up levels to play through the side missions and whatnot. Because if anyone hasn't played the game, the way it works is there's like different areas where there's different difficulties of enemies. So if you go into one of the areas too soon, then you get shit on, because that's how Mafia works. I mean, that's how RPG works, right? Kind of similar to like Borderlands. Like sometimes you'd progress too far in like the main story and you come across enemies that were like way too high level for you to take down. It's essentially the same thing happening here, but it just feels like such a grind. Like every single time, like every area has the same set of missions. There's like, oh, there's 2 of these kinds of missions, 2 of these supply missions, 2 of these hostage rescue missions, and then, wow, that was a mean slur. And after all those individual missions, there's like 1 or 2 like actual missions in the area that you have to get through, pretty much like all of that to stay like leveling up enough to be able to move on to the next area. To follow the main story, you have to do all these side quests, and it just feels like they wanted you to spend like as much time in the game as possible. They're like, oh, well, we don't want them flying through the main story because that's really not that long, so we'll just make them grind up these levels. And if anyone played the game back when it first came out, before any like DLC or any of that other bullshit, they had, I think the level cap was 30. I think you could just go to 30. So you just like bust through every area and you'd finish the main story and you were just level 30. You couldn't level up anymore. There's no more missions and you were just fucking sitting there with nothing to do, just running around the map. Unless you want to play the fucking Dark Zone, but don't even get me started on that shit. But so the other thing about this being redundant is that you just have to run to the next area to unlock that next fast travel point. So like each area, each like level sectioned area has a safe house in it, and once you get to the safe house you can fast travel there. But so some of the missions will be on the far side of the next area, or the safe house on the far side of the area. So you're like, okay, now I just have to go from the fucking main base that's in the middle of fucking bumfuck nowhere, and you just fucking hit that shift key and hold the W, and that bitch is just running. And it'll be like, oh yeah, 12 kilometers until you get to the objective. And it's just so fucking dumb. Like it, well, it just, like, I understand why it's there, but I guess I just feel like they were like, oh, how do we like waste everyone's time some more? Like, how do we make everything take as long as possible so they don't fly through this game? Since when we first unveiled it, we showed off this fucking massive world. The entire New York was playable, and then they drop it and they're like, yeah, so you get like 1 area at a time and you gotta run everywhere. And it's just so dumb because you don't even like fight anyone. Occasionally you'll like come across like 2 enemies, but there's nothing really happening. You're just seeing like random dogs barking at you and people sifting through trash and whatnot, and you just like running along the street until you get there. Because there's no real incentive to like want to do anything else other than just run to the next mission and run to the next story, because it's just going to be more of the same like formats of missions. Like, don't get me wrong, the missions are fun. Like when I'm playing the missions, I'm not like, oh, this shit sucks. Like I'm so bored right now. But it's just getting through each one and then being like, all right, that was cool, but that was over pretty quick. Oh, now what? I gotta run all the way over here. Just run all the way over here to play the same mission I played in the last 3 areas. It just seems like kind of a fucking slap in the face. So this video actually got a lot more negative than I intended it to be. I guess I was kind of salty about having to run around, probably just because I had so much time while I was running around to think about how I was running around and get mad about it. But I suppose we talked about that enough already. So something good I like about the game is like the customization and like all the appearance options that you have. Tom Clancy, like the old games, they had like Rainbow Six Vegas. That was the shit. Like I went crazy for that when I played so much Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Vegas 2 on my 360. I was playing that all the time. And I'd spend so much time in the customization, and you could make your own camos when you got to the like highest level. So you could do all this other like intricate customization stuff. Oh, intricate. I don't think it would hold up as intricate, but for like 14-year-old me, I was like, wow, this shit's intense. Like I'm really invested in this. But so I like that they have that in the Division. Like I only played for like a little, like maybe an hour or two just to get some footage, and I ended up like playing with the customization because you just can't help it. Like you got all these options, you might as well jump on it. And speaking of clothing options, you can get them in the weirdest ways. Like people will just come up to you on the street, like civilians, as you're running around toting like 1,000 rounds and just looking like a fucking psychopath, shooting everything and trying to stab people and shit, throwing grenades and, you know, all this crazy shit. And they just walk up to you like you're not the fucking Terminator, and they're like, please sir, could I have some water? And you're like, yeah, here's a bottle of water. And they're just like, I bet. And they just give you like a fucking tactical backpack or some shit, and they're like, oh, here's like a smoke grenade. Oh, here's a shirt. I just literally ripped this shirt off my back, but it's tactical as fuck, and it somehow fits you, even though I'm a frail little lady. And I know it's just a game, but like, this just seems so weird that they're just like, oh, hello, murdering machine. I just noticed you slay all those men over there, but could I have some water? Like, they're just walking around in fucking like technical shit, like fucking military grade gear. Somehow have this shit, but they can't find a fucking bottle of soda. The other NPCs, like the fucking, well, non-enemies, I guess. There's just dogs like everywhere, and you'll just see them dog, and you'll be like, hey, what's up, buddy? And they'll just start barking at you like crazy, but no one notices. It's so weird. Like, and sometimes you'll just be shooting guys that are like right next to you. Like you'll be fighting a group of their friends, and somehow they're still just like ignoring you. They're just looting this body endlessly because they just want you to walk up and find them, I guess. They don't care that you're just fighting all their friends on the other side of the map. Other side of the street, I should say, is like right next to them. But overall, I don't think it's a bad game. It just has that typical, like, I want to say like Ubisoft RPG feel. Like a lot of it feels similar to the way I felt playing like the early Assassin's Creed games, because I haven't played any of the recent ones. After Assassin's Creed 3, I haven't played any of them, but I really liked all the early ones. But it was kind of the same complaint, like you're just brought to different worlds or maps, whatever the fuck you want to call them, and you would just like do very similar missions. Like there was a main story path that you were following. Granted, Assassin's Creed story is much more fleshed out than the Division, but it's like, I don't know, just so grindy just to progress through the game. And it seems less mandatory in Assassin's Creed, which I think is my main complaint here. It's like, you have to do this to get to the next area. In Borderlands, same story, like you have to level up, but it doesn't seem like as, I don't know what the right word is, like as if it doesn't seem as structured as this is, where it's like, yep, you do X, Y, and Z, get this rank, all right, move to the next area, and you just keep going like that. But the gameplay is fun. So that's the big contradiction here, is I'm saying all the shit that I don't like about the game, but yet I keep playing the game. Like, just sitting there and just fucking stewing while I'm running is like the worst it's gonna be. But when you're actually like fighting, it's fun. It seems weird that you can shoot someone in the head like 9,000 times and they'll just keep taking 1,800 damage, but that's how RPG works. But this game, I got good memories in this game, and if you're playing with friends, it is really fun. It's just so like, I don't know, it's just annoying. It's just annoying. I guess I'm fucking annoyed by everything. So what do you want from me? Overall, I think it's a great game. Great game. Okay, overall, I think it's a good game. I can't say that's a great game, but I'm hoping they build on this with the second one and just do more of the story, because I feel like they have everything, all the pieces they need to have a great game. They just need to make it more interesting, and I hope they don't lie with the trailers and releases like they did on the first one, because that would be totally not cool. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching the video. I know I talked a lot of shit about The Division in this video, but I do like the game, and I'm definitely going to be getting The Division 2. So if you guys have any thoughts on, you know, all my ranting and raving about just running around the map, you know, let me know. Subscribe if you like the video. I'm going to be uploading some more stuff. We're definitely going to have more coming once The Division 2 comes out. Probably be streaming in a little bit, so I'll drop the link to my Twitch down below if you guys want to check that out. I'm playing a lot of Rainbow Six Siege right now. If you guys are into that, you know, I'm all about this Tom Clancy life.